Okay, should be up now. Oh, can we do dungeons with party members who come through from other factions? No, not currently. They did express at one point that they wanted that to happen maybe in the future. I do not like that idea. I think that the factions need to stay locked for PvP purposes. People stop being the enemy when they're your friend. Sort of like the Horde and the Alliance in WoW. For a long time, that meant a lot. You played one or the other, and you didn't switch very often. And I think that was good for the game. So I hope they don't allow you to do that. Is there a spear type weapon in ESO? No, there's only two-handed. But if you're watching this video right now, you'll see that there's actually Adric spear line for the Templars, and it sort of gives you like a mystical spear to use. You can throw it. You can do a big jabby jabby jab stab thing with it. You can throw it up in the air and it comes down and like splinters into a bunch of pieces and pulsates with damage and makes a synergy. Some pretty cool stuff with it. Servers are currently offline for the weekend normal stress testing servers, yes. I'm showing a video and yes. There is a PTS according to Twitch, and that PTS is currently online according to the whatever it's called, the launcher. So people could be playing right now. I'm not gonna say that I could be because I don't like getting banned. Yes, Templar has a whole skill line built around the Conjured Spheres. It's a pretty good skill line too. It's great for like some tanking and some like melee DPS. I actually use it as like a ranged DPS here as sort of a good way of knocking things away from me and doing some ranged stuff like that. How did I get into the beta so early? Like most things, it's all in who you know. I was invited by a friend who helped me out, basically. I made the friends through working hard and posting a lot of good stuff on various forums and things, but basically it's who you know. I got invited based on that. And then I guess you sort of get re-invited by continuing to give good feedback. Oh, you missed what I said about the summons? They suck. I'm sorry to inform you. They suck really bad. You don't even want to see them. It'll make you sad. They can't be controlled. They run around breaking CC. They run around dying. They have low health. They don't do much damage. And if you weapon swap, you lose them unless they're on both bars. They're just not worth a slot on the bar. Trading system in ESO is there will have some kind of trading system in Guild Wars 2? I guess you meant the same kind. Will it have the same kind? No, it will not have the same kind of trading as Guild Wars 2. Guild Wars 2 did not have trading between players, for one, and it had a global auction house, which ESO will not have. ESO has what they call guild stores, and you can only sell things to your guild members. And you can be in 5 guilds, so their idea is that you can have a trading guild, a guild of like 500 people who just trade things. You use it as a guild store. But you can also have a guild claim a keep in Cyrodiil, and then that guild anyone can buy from when they're in Cyrodiil. So that's another way to sort of open up the guild store a bit more. And also you can trade between players. And you can mail things between players with CODs. Sneak attack is an automated crit that can crit, if that makes sense. It's times 2 damage and then times 4 damage. I think it can crit at least. I'm pretty sure it can. It hits really hard though. Really, really hard. Oh, and also stuns. So there's that too. Is overcharging in DR a big factor as you level up? Is it best not to stack some attribute regens as you light armor and high elf for magic regen as you will quickly reach your soft cap? It's according. Oh shit. The reason it's according is because if you have a good gear while leveling up, such as crafter making you gear, you'll probably soft cap a lot. But if you don't have a crafter, you probably won't find good enough gear just running through leveling to overcharge yourself with the attributes. Now, level 50, you will get overcharged and not be able to, you know, you can still get stats, but you get half value. So what you'll usually end up doing is putting like all your attributes into health, and then have your armor to give Magicka regen and Magicka. And that way you don't overcharge very much, but you also get a lot of health too, which is very useful in general. So while leveling up, I wouldn't say it's that big of a factor. Its biggest issue is actually with tanking. You overcap on armor and heavy armor with armor buffs really, really quickly, making them kind of useless. So while leveling up, if you're going to use an armor buff, you probably want to just use cloth armor. But if you're not going to use, if you're going to use heavy armor, you might as well not use an armor buff. I'm back. That was my roommate asking a question. It's not really hard. The first horse costs like 1,500 gold or oh no, actually maybe it's more than that. Maybe it's like 12,000 gold. Yeah, it's like 12,000 gold, which is a pretty decent amount. It'll take you like to level 20 or so to get that much. The Imperial Edition is a pretty good deal based on that because it's only like 100 gold for the first horse. But the horse isn't very fast. It's like 15% faster. But each day you can feed it, make it 1% faster. So it's like 15, then 16, then 17% faster. So it actually takes a while to actually get to be faster than basically just running that most of the time or sprinting. So It takes a little while to get there. And the next horse, which is the horse you don't get for free, is like 42,000, and it's pretty expensive. You'll probably be close to 50 before you can afford it. So I would say it's not too hard to get the first one, but it's fairly hard to get the second one. And given that it takes like 40 to 80 hours according to how you play for getting level 50, level 20 still takes like 20, 30 hours. So here we go. We're gonna get our ass kicked here because we run into a humongous Zerg at a choke point on accident and are not ready for it. I will say also Green Man Gaming, I actually have a link down below. They actually used to have a coupon for the Imperial Edition for 25% off, which made it the same price as the Standard Edition. So if they still have that coupon, you need to buy that shit because it's the same price and you get all that stuff for free. That's actually what I did. So might want to click that link down there and check it out. And actually, if you click my link and you have a 25% coupon, you'll probably get it for like $58 instead of $60 for the Imperial Edition. So maybe something worth looking into. Do heal skills only work on group members? No, but they prioritize group members. So if it only hits 3 targets like a smart heal, it's going to hit your group first before it goes to other people. AoE heals, they hit everyone in the circle. Can ESO become the League of Legends in terms of tournament play with the add of an arena or something in tournament game? I don't think so. I don't think it's set up to be capable of something like that. They are thinking about doing Battlegrounds, I think, because there is some leaked stuff on ESO Head, like says Battleground quests and things. So it's possible there's going to be a Battleground, but those could be like for leveling up and not F50, so it's hard to say because that's how Dark Age of Camelot was. But I don't think it'll be a tournament game. No, I think they're not aiming for an esport type game. Not to say it won't be competitive, and it won't be like progressive PvE and stuff. I just don't think it'll be tournament style competitive. What are the classes? There are the Templar, which specializes. I guess you wouldn't say specializes, but they make the best healer. They can do anything else too, but they also make the best healer. There's the Dragon Knight, which can do everything, but also makes the best tank. There's the Sork, which makes the best mage, but can do anything, especially tank. It's a very good tank. And then there's the Nightblade, which specializes in like melee DPS, but it can also do anything. Like in the other Elder Scrolls game, we can make all kinds of craft with. I don't know if you tried to say something else with that. I didn't see it. But if you're asking if you can do lots of different crafts, yes, there are weaponsmithing, armor smithing, alchemy, provisioning, which is food and drink, and enchanting, and there's also like light armor, whatever that's called. I don't even remember. Tailoring, yes, there's that. So yeah, and you can be all those on one character. It just takes skill points to get good at them. So it'd be really hard on a single character while leveling to do them all. It'd be much easier to do one or two, and then at max level try to like farm skill points to get the other trees. You mean, can we make all types of craft on one character? Yeah, you can, but I wouldn't advise it early on because it's going to be really hard to do. You can, but it's going to be hard. Kraber, it is healer and tank based. It does have the Trinity, what they call the Holy Trinity. There's tanks, healers, and DPS. So yes, you do need a tank, you need a healer, and you need DPS to complete dungeons and things. Yes. Mm. Did you have any trouble figuring out what was going on during those massive battles? Not really. There are some things that are a bit confusing. Like if someone drops a blood whale, which is kind of makes a red ring, that can be a bit confusing. And siege gets a bit confusing because it all makes a red circle in the ground where it's going to hit, whether it's friendly or not. So sometimes you don't know if that siege is friendly or if it's not friendly when it's going to hit, which is kind of strange. But outside of that, um, you don't really know what's going on, but you know what you need to do if you kind of have played the game a bit. You kind of just got to count on each other to be doing the right things, and you'll be okay. Guild Wars 2 lacked Trinity, and dungeons were a horrible experience. Yes, dungeons were a horrible experience, and it was because they lacked the Trinity. I agree, it sucked. New to the stream, 6-month beta tester here. Thanks for the video to help with the fix. What's your preferred build? Preferred build. It's according to what I'm playing. If I'm playing a Templar, I prefer to do a sort of a dual build where one bar is dedicated to healing and the other bar is dedicated to AoE DPS, because usually when I'm doing PvP there's a lot of people like this to kill, and usually we're not traveling with so many people, we're doing a smaller group. I'll show you a little clip of that in a bit, but yeah, yeah, that's pretty much how I go. I can explain the build more if you really want to know like what abilities I use, but for the sake of not giving a super long answer to a simple question, I'll just say you'll see some abilities here that I'm using, which are pretty similar to what I normally use in my healing build. Yes, I can explain the difference between traits and enchants. Enchants are a few different things. Enchants are plus, they're more stats or attributes on an item. For example, an enchant is plus magicka on a piece of armor, or plus health or plus stamina. On a ring, it might be plus magicka regen. On a weapon, it's like the proc effect, the fire damage when it's on a hit or something like that. A trait is something that's linked to the item that can't be changed, because enchants can be changed most of the time unless they're like a specific item. They can be switched out with something new by an enchanter. But a trait is something that's on the weapon. It's like a trait, for example, is ornate, which means it's pretty and it sells for more to a merchant. That's one trait. Usually you'll find that along with vendor trash. Another trait is like it's like sharpened, and it makes it have a higher crit chance when you're using that weapon. And that's something you can't change. That weapon's always going to have that unless you destroy it and make a new one. Other traits are like you can sprint faster on armor. It's well fitted. But the big difference is that a trait is built into the armor and it gives some kind of benefit, and an enchant can be changed. And the trait has to be applied when it's created. It can't be added later. It has to be when it's made. I'm very huge into the tank healer based MMOs like WoW and Final Fantasy 14. They're not like MMOs like Guild Wars. Is this going to have raids and stuff like that? Do you know? Yes, there are going to be raids called adventure zones. It's suspected that there's an adventure zone called Craglor or something like that on ESO Head. It's a zone that no one had seen in the PTS. A lot of people are talking about it on Reddit. And I know that they're going to be 12-man because they've said that before. So it's going to be a 12-man raid zone-like thing, I guess. There's not a lot of details involved in it, but they do say they're going to be competitive raiding instance. And you do need tanks and healers and all that, so it should be. Could you go over CC effects and how roots don't cause immunity and that it seems you can't break out of them? CC effects, yes. Any CC that stops you from acting at all, a disorient, like a mez, a stun, anything that stops you from being able to do anything, you can break out of by left and right clicking, and it costs half of your available or your maximum stamina. A root, you cannot break out of, but you can dodge roll to get out of it. And when you dodge roll, it doesn't cost any extra. It just gets you out of the root. There's no DR on the root, so you could be rooted again, but you could dodge roll again to get out of it. As far as the other CCs, anytime you're CC and you break out, you're immune for like 5 seconds. So there's that. In your PvE dungeon mode footage, I saw someone sitting in a chair when you talk to an NPC. Is he resting, or is what I saw is an NPC? Sit chair is an emote. You can do slash sit chair, and you just sort of whip out a chair and sit your ass in it. It doesn't really do anything. He was just being funny. I think it might have actually been me. Yeah, it's just an emote. You can also do things like hammer low, where you get on your knees and hold a hammer and like bang, it looks really funny. You can do push-ups and sit-ups and dance, all that. It's all just an emote. Can the traits and enchants be upgraded? Enchants can be upgraded. Actually, the kind of can. An enchant has a limit to the level of the item. So, like, it's a level 10 enchant, it can only go level 10 item. But usually have ranges, but it can only go on the maximum level it's assigned for. But you can upgrade to, like, from a white quality enchant to a green or to a blue or to an epic enchant. Traits can't be upgraded. You can steal the trait from the item if you're a crafter by, like, breaking it down and learning how to do it, and then make a new item with that trait, but you can't just upgrade that item. Can you disenchant or reenchant? Yes, you can just reenchant by applying a new chant. You can sort of disenchant by taking an item and breaking it down and getting the parts out of it, basically. And you also gain crafting XP when you do that. Question from an enchanter. Is there a number of stat enchant modifiers on an item based on the item's color quality? For example, in beta I got a blue necklace from a quest reward, had plus magic recovery, then I added a second enchant one. Do epic purples... that's actually a bug. If you have an item, it usually has a lock on it and it lets you re-enchant it. It's actually a bug. The lock should indicate that you can't change the enchant, but it doesn't work, so it just allows you to put a second enchant on it. So actually it should only have allowed you not to change it at all, and it shouldn't have let you do a second enchant. And as far as I know, purples do not get 2 or 3 stats. You just have the one stat. Well, you get the trait, the stat, and the item itself. How are item drops shared with a team? It's all instance loot. Whatever you loot's yours. Everyone gets a chance at loot. We don't know if that's how it's going to work in like adventure zones, but in group dungeons so far and stuff, that's always how it worked. You can trade a lot of the items though. What do you think of the racial abilities? Do they seem balanced? Can you compensate through enchanting so race ends up being just cosmetic? Racials are going to matter. They may not matter a whole lot, but they're going to matter. You can compensate somewhat, but not fully. For example, the Khajiit gives crit damage. There's not a lot of ways to get crit damage. You're not going to overcharge crit damage. It's just better if you want to do high crit build. It just is. Khajiit are good. Altmer with more Magicka, regen and more Magicka means you can put points in other things, and you can more specialize. I mean, you could make up for it in some ways, but overall, it's not going to make a huge difference by any means. It's not going to be like, oh my god, he killed me because he's an Altmer, but it will matter, and I don't think you're going to be able to completely overcome it. I'll switch to another footage of PvP here. Here's some cool footage where we are standing at the top of a tower at a resource, and the enemy comes with a huge Zerg and takes the resource, but they can't get us out of this tower. And they keep sending people up to try to clear us out, but they don't bring enough because they're not very organized to really push us out. So we really are just farming people here for a really long time while a huge Zerg is like roaming around outside. And we end up actually getting the resource back because so many other people die that when our Zerg shows up, they just roll over them and we take the resource. Speaking of racials, you know if Imperial, Red Diamond, and Red Guard Adrenaline Rush scale with level. Yes, they scale with level. Yes, they do. They do scale with level. How much? I can't say. The Imperial I've never seen. I've just seen the ESO head leaked footage, but they're going to scale, of course. The Red Guard does scale, and it scales kind of well, I think, actually. Which makes me wonder if the Imperial is not a little bit too strong. But it hasn't been tested, so that makes sense that they made it too strong. So it's usually what they do. This video here is finished, and we clear this thing out in about 8 more minutes. I'll play a PvP video that's actually us with about 8 people fighting like 20 or 30 people, and we end up killing them all at a pretty good choke point. So you guys may enjoy that. I'm working with ESOHead Sims right now, and I see that the trait increase weapon skill line experience with weapon type by 22%. Can I make the 20% to go higher? No, I don't think you can make it go any higher. It's basically not all that useful though. It just makes the skill line gain XP faster, so you get abilities sooner, but they don't. That XP doesn't matter at higher level. Like when you get 50, that skill line is going to be 50, and it's not going to go any higher. And every class gets some skill line XP. So I wouldn't worry, I wouldn't let that affect you. Whatever choice you make, don't make it based on the XP gain. It's not going to be worth it in the long run. Make it on the next 3 things. Worth it or not? If you're paying $100 for the physical, maybe not. If you're paying the 80 for the digital, I would say most likely. You're gonna get some cool things for it. If you're a power gamer and you plan on like being level 50 before the 5-day early access begins or ends, maybe not, because apparently you don't get a lot of your benefits until after the 5-day early access. So that will kind of suck. But if that changes, then yes. If you bought it from Green Man Gaming, which I actually have a link with for in my stream, if you got it from Green Man Gaming, I think they may still have a coupon code for 25% off the Digital Imperial Edition, which makes it the same price as the Standard Edition. And if you use my link, you get an extra $2 off. So, if you're getting it for $60, it's definitely worth it because it's the same price as the Standard game. How customizable do you think the UI will end up being? It's the UI itself is fairly customizable. You can change just about everything on it one way or another. You'll see here there's some add-ons that change the nameplates. I've seen add-ons that change the raid frames, add-ons that change chats. You can add damage logs, damage meters. You can add DPS meters. You can add scrolling combat text, what you're seeing here. You can mess with the compass. You can add more things to the quest tracker. You can do a lot with the UI, so you can do a whole lot. You missed out on 25% off. Yeah, that does suck. It was a really good deal. 25% off was pretty sweet. I actually bought it at 20% off before they got the 25% deal, but I still paid like $64 for the Digital Imperial, which is pretty nice. Do I think the 5 ability slot is sufficient, or would you have preferred a bit more, say 8? No, I think the 5 is good. 6 with the ultimate. Because you also have the weapon swap. I think if you had many more, even maybe 1 or 2 more, you would run into a situation where you got everything you really wanted. With 5, you have to make some intelligent decisions, like which one do I want, this or that. So I think it's good. And a lot of people say like, oh my god, 5 buttons, it's so easy, there's so little we have to worry about. Well, there's also like dodge rolling, there's interrupting, there's CC braking, there's left like click a lot attacks, there's heavy attacks, there's blocking, which is active, there's weapon swap, and then there's 5 new abilities there, there's positioning, there's still plenty of shit to worry about, just as much as any other game, so it's not like it's simplified and boring or anything like that. Yeah, and resource management, that's something else. It's hard to manage your resources, especially in the early levels. Later on, it gets a little bit easier because you have more resources to work with. But usually, if you have like a lot of magic, you don't have much stamina, so you have to kind of manage that resource more closely. Yeah, you don't have to watch your bar, especially since you don't have to watch it because there's no cooldowns. You really just gotta watch your health, magic, and stamina, and you can kind of know what you can do based on that. You don't even need to look at your abilities, which is kind of nice. It keeps you in the game a little bit more, paying attention, which actually ends up making you not need a lot of UI elements as much. No problem. Hey, if you enjoy the stream, please follow my stream. I'll be doing more Q&As like this. I'll be actually streaming probably this weekend, the game. Um, so you'll see a lot of cool stuff there. As soon as we're allowed, if we're allowed, I'll have some level 50 veteran rank content that I can stream, like dungeons, like veteran dungeons. I may or may not be able to do that at all, but if I can, I do have them. So you may see that. There'll be more PvP, live PvP. You'll see a lot more of us just killing people in scores. And in just a few minutes, I would advise you not to leave because there's a really cool video I'm going to show. There is a coupon that will reduce the cost, and if you click the link on my stream, you'll get an extra $2 off, plus you'll give $2 to me in order to buy another game, and when I get enough money, I'll buy a game and give it away on stream. So please use that code to buy the game on Green Man, and use my link to get to Green Man Gaming, please. It will help me out, and it'll help you out too, because you get an extra $2. That's the only way to get the extra $2 off. Yeah, I'm not completely sure if that coupon is 20% or 25%, but either way, it's like 20 bucks. So it's a good deal. You can also use it on the standard game. If you don't want the Imperial Edition, you can get like $48 or something for the standard game. So it's a good deal. You'll put that code in checkout. As you're checking out, you should have a place for a promo code. You should be able to see the updated price before you ever like hit finalize on the purchase. So like if you just look around, you'll see it. I'm pretty sure it's in after you put it in your cart and you click checkout, then you add promo codes, I think. Oh, the video started over. Which race will I be playing? I will probably play an Altmer or a Breton. I haven't completely decided yet. Breton are cool because they have some sweet ass mustaches and they can get an eye patch. So that's pretty cool. And their racials are good. The Altmers are kind of ugly in my opinion. They're all like hoity-toity elves with like they're super tall and shit, and I'm not big on that. But they do have really good racials, so not sure, either Breton or an Altmer. I will be playing the Aldmeri Dominion, but I'm going to do what everyone else is going to be doing and pick whatever race I want to because they're taking away the race restriction on launch. So actually, here is a video. Let me see if I can get the quality up. Nope, I sure can't. So it doesn't look good right here. Hopefully you guys can see it decent enough. It's kind of sped up right now, so it'll be kind of blurry. Just bear with it. It's just actually a funny video because our RAM, I'll take it back a bit. Our RAM was inside the keep, and it just took off outside the keep for some reason, and we couldn't figure out why because we put it up on the inner door, and apparently our RAM decided that it didn't want to do the front door or the inner door. It wanted to take down the outer door first, so it ran all the way around the keep to go through the inner door through the outer door from the inner door, and now we're back at the inner door. There's actually a hole in the wall that we just could have walked right through. So there's a super quick video of us taking a keep with no one defending it because it was like a really weird time on a closed server. Here is a huge group of players who are attacking a keep, and we're the only people inside of it. Is the Benny Hill Ram an Imperial Edition exclusive? No, that's actually, his name is Ramsey, and he's a PTS exclusive. He only exists in my inventory on the PTS. However, he was just recently banned for streaming. So Ramsey is gone. Unless something good happens, Ramsey is gone. But it's okay, because the live game will be coming out soon. It'll be a whole new Ramsey. Okay, so here is my guild Entropy Rising. We are like 8 people here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's like actually 7 people that are actually here right now. And we're basically there's like 50 people outside, and they're inside of our keep, and we're the only people here to defend it. So we come up with the plan that we're going to use this choke point, and you'll see what's going to happen here. Okay, so yeah, that was basically it's like 7 people dropping ultis and any kind of AoE they had into a doorway, and we combined a lot of abilities like roots and stuns and anything else we really had to kind of catch them in that choke point and AoE their largest push down. And once we AoE the largest push down, we kind of just spread out. And even though they still outnumbered us, they were so frazzled from us killing all their players that they just kind of ran away from us and died for the most part. So if anyone has any questions, uh, go for it. I want to show it again so maybe you can catch anything you missed. So no comments on it? What can you buy with alliance points? Yes, you can buy gear, varying levels, varying qualities, all the way up to veteran rank 10. You can buy siege equipment as well. You can buy siege repair kits, wall repair kits, door repair kits. You can buy um, lots of stuff. Do enemy traps despawn if they're abandoned? No, you can actually just walk up to them as an enemy player and catch them on fire and burn them down. So if someone leaves one, you just go up and burn it. I think they may eventually despawn. Oh, actually, they don't despawn. They slowly die. Their health just slowly goes down until they just die. But you can hurry that along by just walking up and hitting E, and you catch them on fire. That'll be a bug in the add-on. The 73,098 XP is because in that video I was level 50, so I couldn't gain XP anymore, so it was bugging out. Never heard of Greenman Gaming? Yes, they're a really big seller. They're completely trustworthy. They're a really big seller. They'll a lot of times they'll compete with Steam on deals. They'll pick whatever Steam has for sale and they'll sell it for cheaper or for the same price. They're pretty legit, yeah. They're a good site. Hello, Giblon. What is the Tamriel Foundry? Well, Mark, you should know because you're a member, but the Tamriel Foundry is a website for theory crafting, discussion, and news for Elder Scrolls Online. I have a question for you, Alex. How often during a 90-day campaign does an Emperor get crowned? Not often. At live, I think it'll be like no chance. Maybe like one in the first 90-day campaign, like right as it starts, as people are first getting in there and there's lower numbers. But when it starts getting bigger, it's gonna be really, really hard. Um, your best chance will be like late night, keep capturing and things, but I don't think it'll be easy at all. Will respecking include having to relevel a skill tree from 0 to 15? No. Respecking, it remembers what you had. So if you pick, you can pick up your abilities and they're maxed out. Or wherever they were. Pizza Hut is better. Mark, shut up. Okay, since we don't have any questions coming in, I'll reiterate my thing before. Please follow my stream. It really helps me out. And you'll get to know when I'm streaming next, and I'll be streaming soon. I'll do more Q&As like this. This weekend, I will be doing streaming live game content, hopefully. If there's a weekend test. Um, so, yes, please follow the stream if you don't care to. Can I read your questions, Kessel? I have not seen a question from you, so please re-ask. It's the first thing I've seen from you. I think Twitch is eating some comments. Anyone else having a problem not knowing what to play to Reese because so excited about ESO? Giblin, I don't know if you've been here yet, but there is lots and lots and lots of character build information you can get there. Yeah, and as Glaxon said, or Glaxock said, if you're trying to figure out like what you should play or how you should play something, check out the Tamriel Foundry. They've got lots of people that can help. I'm there a lot of times. A lot of other Entropy Rising members are there. Please don't listen to Cyber Berserker. He has no clue what he's talking about 90% of the time. But everyone else, they're very knowledgeable. Is respecking costly? Yes, respecking is costly. It's very, very costly. It's not something you're going to want to do a lot. The reason for that is because you can get more skill points. So if you wanted to change skill points in something, you could just get another one and put in that. I really want to play a DK tank, but I'm worried about their magic or resource management. Don't be afraid to toy with the idea of using light armor as a DK tank. If you're using something like spiked armor, it's viable. So don't be afraid of that. So after playing a year of beta, what class do I think I'll be playing come release? You know, if I had no reason to play anything other than whichever one was best, I would be playing a Sork. But I need to play whatever is best at healing, and I plan on being a class board moderator on Tamriel Foundry for the Templar. So I'm probably going to play a Templar, even though that Sork is probably the class that I would most enjoy playing. The Sork was actually like my first class I started playing in ESO, but ended up really not liking it because it lacked a lot of damage. I felt like it had too much control and not enough damage for a mage. They actually changed that with a few abilities and then made it feel a lot better later on, which was really nice. Is that TF's new skill calculator? No, that's actually just Zam's skill calculator, but we're not going to try to compete with them on it. They data mined the shit out of it. They got a team of programmers. We just have a couple of guys, so not a big, we're not going to try to fight that. They got a great skill calculator, but we have a better map than they do. So if you need a map, check out the Timber Foundry /map. It's a very good map. Yeah, Sork with heavy armor and two-hand lightning form is really good. People are often surprised by how good a heavy armored Sork is, and it's good. Well, buying the game off Greenman Gaming, link the game to the official website. Yeah, they just give you a key, and you put that key in on the official website, and it just like you bought it from them. Yeah, all you do is they give you a key, just like a beta key, and you put it in, and there you go. You're good to go. Torn between Sork and Nightblade. Texas, how do you plan on playing? What skills are you looking at getting? What kind of armor and stuff? Or maybe I can help you pick which one would be better. Or maybe better yet, what do you plan on doing in the game? What kind of roles you plan on playing? What kind of content you plan on doing? How to use my link. All you do is click my link when you're first going to Greenman Gaming, and then from there on out, you don't have to do anything extra special. You just click my link when you're going to the website, and then purchase the game, and it'll all take care of it through cookies and caching and things. So you shouldn't have to do anything. You should just click the link and go buy the game, and use that promo code to save yourself some money. That's all you have to do. All the skills. You want all the skills taxes. That's gonna be hard because there's a lot of skills. Um, Answer this question if you want a little help. If you don't want any help, tell me to fuck off. I don't care. But what role do you plan on playing? And if you don't know that, what do you plan on content? Do you plan on PvP, PvP, dungeon, solo PvP, group PvP, raid PvP? What? And I could probably narrow it down for you because Sork and Nightblade are pretty different. Do you think Vamp passes that ESO had posted are OP, especially for tanking? Tanking would be a bad idea because vampires take lots of extra fire damage, I believe. So fire damage would hurt you pretty badly. Do I think they're OP in general? I don't think so because they have a lot of drawbacks too. But they are strong, but they have a lot of drawbacks, such as the Fighter's Guild skills can be used against them, which really hurts them. But in PvE, if that's what you're talking about, fire really, really hurts them. And developers love putting fire on the ground and fire beams and fire breaths, and yeah, it could really cause you some trouble. Do you have a website or something that will explain stuff to noobs? Yes, check this out. Go there and read and post and ask questions, and people should be really helpful. And if they're not, we'll yell at them and maybe ban them. We don't get no shits. But yeah, you should go there. You should talk to people there. There's lots of good information there. Do the Fighters Guild abilities work against werewolf and they are not in wolf form? Yes, they do. As long as you are a werewolf, they will work. Would the damage reduction passive sort of cancel out the extra fire damage? Probably not. It's quite a bit extra damage. It basically takes like the maximum amount of resist you can have away from vampires, I think. I haven't actually been one or anything. I'm just going off what I've heard. It's a pretty substantial increase in damage. You may be able to cancel it out, but you'll be losing other things by doing that. You'll have to like lose Magicka Regen or something in order to stack more fire resist. It could cancel it out in PvE, so maybe it could in PvE. I'd really have to see it played out a little more because there were some bugs with it in the betas. But in PvP, the Fighters Guild really keep that in balance. When does the beta end? I want to download it again, but if it's a beta weekend, I don't see a point. I googled and couldn't find an answer. It's good that you googled before asking. Most people don't bother. When does the beta end? They don't have an answer yet for that, but I would suspect it'll be fairly soon. They'll probably have like 2 more weekend tests, and that'll be more to test server capacity and stuff, and do some like hype stuff with no NDA. I don't think you'll see it lasting all that much longer. And what was the second part of the question? Should you download the client? Yeah, I would keep the client updated because I have a feeling that the game client will become the game, and you will have to download it again when you actually buy the game or start playing the game. So I would keep it updated. I'm planning to play a healer. I'm planning to play as a healer, and am torn between. Can't read. And torn between